Welcome back to another edition of In My Humble Opinion. I'm your boy Will. We got Daph and Mondo.
Hey.
Today, we just want to do some lighthearted, just talking, just some kickback and chill type conversation. Just chop it up a little bit. One thing that I was thinking about today is when keeping it real goes wrong. Have you ever been in a situation where you thought you was keeping it real and it went totally wrong for you?
Daph.
Don't. Why do you do this?
Because last week
you made him go first.
Yes.
Because he always make me go first.
Well, because I'm a gentleman. And we found out that being a gentleman got me into that little
You were in the friend zone before you knew you were a gentleman. First of all.
Not with you. I ain't talking about you. I'm talking about the mother heifers. So
Okay.
let's talk about keeping it real go wrong.
I think keeping it real can go wrong sometimes. Because sometimes you try to be honest with people and they take it as not being honest and they think you're being mean to them. When you were just trying to be honest and you're like, hey, I was just trying to let you know. And then they think you're an awful person.
So what you're saying is you're not an awful person.
Absolutely not.
Well,
I don't know
this has been another edition.
No, but you know what she says, keeping it real go wrong. When you texting or because sometimes you know the energy, especially if it's a person that you communicate with, you know the energy in text messaging.
Right.
And sometimes you could just be being open and honest, being sincere, but people think you're a jerk, so then they take what you say, blow out of proportion. And I think that's the worst part of keeping it real, especially if you being sincere and trying to open up, being vulnerable.
Yeah, but I think text messaging is it doesn't always clear. It doesn't always make things clear.
But you got to be able to read.
Okay,
spell.
so first of all, this is the second time you want to say something about me reading. I completely know how to read, people, just an FYI.
I wasn't talking about
No, you're trying to be funny. Second, I caught that joke.
High five. About time. The 10 weeks in.
Man.
Anyways, I forgot what I was talking about.
So let me say this, because
Okay, go ahead.
My keeping it real was different than y'all. I'm talking about when that wannabe thug, gangster, Tim boots, Scully on, got his pelly, and he wants to keep it real by showing you how tough he is. And then when he realized that you are tougher than him, you just don't have to show it that way. Like that Dave Chappelle skit where he was keeping it real and he got his butt whooped. I think that a lot of people try to keep it real or keep it in that environment, knowing that they ain't about that life in the first place.
You know what? To a degree, I dislike the whole keep it real thing, because think about how it be. If a person, bad attitude, jazzy mouth, loud, I'm just being real. This is just me. And it's like that. You being real ignorant is what you're being.
But maybe that's their real.
Yeah, and they're real. I said it to whoever watching, listening. I said you're real is ignorant.
I think so. I think sometimes because people can't transition into different environments, they think that by saying I'm just being real, or that's just how I am, or I've always been that way. And I'm like, well, you need to evolve first and foremost. Second of all, you need to understand that that is not welcome in every environment that you're in.
Thank you.
Yeah.
And I don't like loud women, right? I just don't like it. I don't like all the yelling and the this and the double dutching.
Wait,
whoa.
When they loud and I hear, first of all, never mind, 'cause my mama might be watching. Man, I'm going to hell. I get exactly what you're saying, though. Wow,
Yeah.
I took it a whole.
You did. But
It's a family show.
Yeah.
Sorry, my bad.
But just for me, and they be like, oh, that's how I'm just keeping it real. That's how I am. And the girls they think that's the way to communicate.
That's
with
so
people.
weird, though, because a lot of times guys end up with the ratchets like that.
Not long
So
term.
are the ratchets,
Oh, are the ratchets what?
fun?
Depends on the environment.
But
What do you
I think we
mean?
talked about it in the group, though. We were like, y'all like toxic dudes.
Yeah.
Maybe. It's like going in the summertime. What do? You go to the amusement park, right?
Have a little fun.
Because you want to go on a ride, have a little fun.
So you like the ratchet, so then when the ratchet comes and all the head bobbing and the swinging and the I wish
You do that well.
would.
Do you practice?
No, but I know all about toxic.
No. So, but the ratchet chick, this is what I think it is. I think the ratchet girls, the keeping it real, I ain't gonna call them ratchet, the keeping it real girls are more outspoken. So when they see something they like, They just be like, "What's up, high yellow? What's up, glasses and beard?"
I'm not ratchet, and I'm not afraid to say what I want.
Yeah, he almost made me cuss at you.
What does that mean?
Talk to William.
Listen, I don't know what that means. Okay. I'll look it up.
I've been drinking.
But what I'm saying is, they think that that's keeping it real, and that ain't keeping it real. It's like, even with some of your homies who, the way that they talk, yeah, you know her. Come on, man, we can have a simple conversation. Like
without all that
we
extra.
we don't need all that extra to make me believe something that
it's like this. We've all got stories. We've all been different places, right? Man, my homegirl, we was talking like a couple weeks ago, and I don't know, maybe the new Locks album or something came out, and she was like, yeah, because every dude from Grand Rapids think they from New York. We trying to talk like they from New York. I said, they ain't been past Detroit, though. She said, as soon as y'all put on y'all Timberland boots, can't tell y'all nothing.
But that's how some even rappers now, all of them sound the same. You know, either I'm like, I don't know what you're saying. The beat's nice, but I don't know what you're saying.
Yeah, the beats are nice.
But everybody wants to sound the same because to them, that's the generation that they're in. That's what they listen to.
Yeah, like baby bop rap. That's what I like to call it, or like baby rap or something.
Baby bop from like the dinosaur Barney.
Because they all talk like little babies and like want to be like the baby or I'm the baby or like all of them have names like
all the babies.
Maybe they had
little baby.
Maybe they had parental issues. Maybe they.
I don't know, but I hope they're not
around
wearing Pampers and stuff like that.
No, I don't know. I think the other thing that I was thinking about today in my head was like everywhere is just thinking about how, like you said, toxic, right? Sometimes we think people are in toxic relationships. They love those relationships. They thrive on toxic relationships. They want to be in them, like the amusement park thing you said. They go for it. They're not going to pick a guy who's not going to be toxic with them. Woo! There it is. Soon Earl come. And Earl already been messing with Jan, and they know it was toxic for her. They in line waiting like the amusement park for Earl to have a toxic relationship with him.
Sometimes you don't know it's going to be toxic until you get into it. No, you don't. Everybody is not toxic right away. Like sometimes you get in situations and then you be like, oh, this is toxic.
Then you stay.
Y'all a little younger than me, but I don't know if y'all remember. It's like a cartoon, like a D movie. It was this dude, like the Toxic Avenger. He come out the sewer.
He go to the sewer. He had the mop.
Yeah. But the women still like thing. It's dirty and nasty.
Well, because you already be into the situation, so you be like, I mean, I might as well. I don't know. I'll deal with toxic sometimes just to entertain myself.
Well, what's your like ideal of toxic, like definition of toxic? Like, what do you claim to be as toxic?
Like, I have toxic tendencies.
Clearly?
Wow. Right. But it'll be times like where I know I can do something to piss you off. And then I'm like, hey, have a great day.
I hope this person is watching, right? And they're going to talk mess. I can't believe.
I don't care.
No, but I'm talking about your person. I'm talking about a person I know. It'd be the same thing. I'm like, I think that you provoke and push buttons on purpose.
Oh, yeah. I push them like I'm dialing a phone number.
And it's like, really? Boop, boop, because when you know somebody,
you know how to push their buttons.
Yep.
And the closer the relationship, the more information you have, the more buttons that are available.
I don't always do it, but it is a thing that I do for entertainment.
Once a day?
No, not once a day.
So say, for instance, like your sister. I bet your sister would know plenty of ways to piss you off.
She does.
Yeah.
But she tries not to piss me off because I'm like a happy person, you know what I mean? Like always. But then when I'm angry, I'm just not a happy person.
But you're still smiling though, probably, huh?
Yeah, because it's fun. Because now I'm going to.
That's toxic right there.
It is.
Oh, because it's fun.
You like throw the rock, wash your hands, and then everybody else's hands is dirty too. And you're like, well, I never did anything.
And I watch the glass break, and I just be like, ha 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 ha.
We was having a conversation. I want to ask you something for a minute. We're gonna switch gears. You ain't there yet. You ain't there yet, but you're gonna be there soon. I feel it, like in my spirit. Talk about co-parenting.
That can be toxic.
Okay, whoa. Do not feel it in your spirit. I rebuke whatever your spirit is feeling.
No, you can have a.
Okay, that's like Satan talking.
You can have a humble opinion baby.
Okay, Okay.
We need a baby
Okay.
on this show.
No, we're not gonna do anything
would.
like that. So continue.
William told me the other day I can't get no shirt. I didn't have a shirt. He was playing with my daughter. He was like, "Oh, you can't. Your dad can't get one of these shirts."
Why?
He irresponsible. You know, my niece almost burnt her whole body up on the barbecue grill. And her dad
wasn't
standing
paying
right next to her.
attention?
Yeah, but he didn't care.
Really?
It's not that I didn't care.
That's
I was
probably
like,
why
hey,
you and-
I keep telling you to stop.
He's
You
toxic.
gotta learn the hard way.
Toxic and in the friend zone. That's the problem.
That's his problem. And I told him he can keep the shirt. He's got to wear it inside out.
Something
Anyways.
So how would it be, right? You're dating someone with kids, and of course you have the poo. And let's say the kids get into something to where that you would discipline your child, you know, rather it's physical, verbal, whatever, but all the kids did it. How do you feel about disciplining someone else's kid, and then vice versa if it was the mom or whatever, and she had to discipline her kids and then your child because they all were doing something?
Well, 9 out of 10, the poo's not doing anything. So if we start there, it's going to be her
That's
kids.
a great. That's why your
toxic.
shirt is out there.
And
You
so-
know what I'm
That's
saying?
toxic.
Because great dads
I know
make
it.
sure that their daughters.
First of all,
No, like with me, right?
I know his.
Like with
daughter,
me.
she
So
cuts up a
dating,
little bit.
so like with me, dating, and you have kids,
Yeah.
right? And so now it's 4 kids instead of the one just mine, right?
Mm-hmm.
If they do something that they should be disciplined for, then you got to know the level of discipline that you should partake in.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not a whooper. I don't need to do that, right? So if I don't whoop my child, I'm not going to try to whoop someone else's child. The first thing I'm gonna do is let them realize what's going on. I don't care who kids they are. I don't have to be in a relationship with the person. If all the kids are with me, and they need to be disciplined, I'm going to discipline them. I'm not saying I'm going to physically discipline them, but I'm going to discipline them because they need to know what they did was wrong, especially if it was unsafe. And I don't care what their parents say when I take them home. I'm going to say, well, you left me with your kid, so therefore there was my responsibility.
Yeah.
Now, if I did not discipline them and something happened, because they did it twice. The first time I didn't discipline them, so they thought it was cool and did it again. Then that's the issue. But when you're thinking about relationships, if I leave my kid with you, then I trust you.
Yep.
So I trust that you're going to discipline my child in the responsible way.
Yeah.
But don't whoop my child, because I don't whoop my child. Like, don't
Right.
do that. But if you're going to whoop your kids, send the poo in the living room, whoop your kids, and then she can come back
call me.
and
Okay.
call me and let me know. And I'll have a nice talk with her and see what your kids did wrong.
Whooping. I think whoopings came from the plantation. If we go back to the plantation,
We're going back to the plantation.
go back to
we
the
didn't go last week.
I'm gonna
We
hang
did.
out. I'm gonna hang out in 1965.
we come to Jim Crow. That's fine. We can go to Jim Crow. I think it came from the plantation because I'm like, where did physically disciplining your child come from?
But people's getting their butts whooped before the plantation, bro.
How we?
I don't think it's just black people who whip their
Kids?
children.
No, everybody whip their kids.
Yeah, but so
What
you
did
think
Matt say earlier? Oh, you guys got big too? I was like, oh, they didn't at your house.
Why the plan? Look,
Matt,
look,
Matt, did you get whoopings?
Matt said he still gets whoopings. 26.
I don't know what he's into. Was it called espionage, S&M, or something? Whatever.
Espionage.
I don't know what he's into over there. That's right, family show.
Espionage.
I don't think that's what it's called. Espionage is
No, I'm
something
just
else. Yeah.
teasing. No, but I wonder because I kind of look at it like usually your child has did something to anger you or something, right? So you physically discipline them. Granted, the whooping or the discipline in any level is supposed to be for correction. But then when you physically discipline your child, I think it teaches them when they don't like something or
Hurt it.
whatever the case may be, then you physically handle this. Oh, I don't want to play with you, and you hit somebody.
So now I don't have to play with you because your nose is bleeding.
No, because you're taught when somebody does something to hit them, because that's what happened.
I'm just still trying to figure out why we're on the plantation.
No, we left the plantation
Because
already. It's
when
fine.
did we leave?
When you wanted to go to Jim Crow?
No, I thought we were gonna be there, and then y'all was gonna come visit me. Blah blah blah.
It's
But
fine. It's fine.
Whoopings were always around.
Trust me, I'm still traumatized.
Yeah. You got PTSD. Right? From getting the whooping. Because I remember the other day I had a belt. I was fixing it. You started crying. Will, no. And I was like, Mondo, it's okay.
But did the whoopings work for you?
I don't know. No,
So why would you be traumatic from
what I would do, though, I would prefer the whooping because I'm like, whooping or punishment?
Whooping. Let's get it over
I
with.
can get this whooping.
And go outside.
Go outside. I'm probably going to, if I cry, I'm probably going to be asleep.
Well,
So
you
I'm
got to
gonna get
fake the cry.
I'm going to get a good nap in, so I'm going to be well rested. So when I wake
No.
up, I can go play.
Give me the punishment because I'm already going to be, what? I'm about to dial time and call whoever I want to call so that they can call me back in the middle of the night so that I can be toxic. Go ahead. Put me on punishment. I'm good.
That ain't no punishment.
It is because
be
if
on
they,
the phone.
What type of punishment y'all do in your family?
It wasn't, but when your parents would be like, okay, you can't, blah, blah, blah. But once they go to bed, they don't know what you're doing anyway. So go ahead, put me on punishment. Don't put your hands on me.
You just do whatever
You want.
You better not have no little daughter.
Man,
You better not
it's
have
going
no
to come
daughter.
back.
Okay,
Seven
You
so
better
fold.
have no daughter or no
listen,
nieces.
whoa.
Because they is going, ooh.
Nieces are fine. Let me tell y'all something. We're going to not talk about this kid thing anymore, okay?
Until it comes.
Okay.
Literally,
All right.
get it?
Anyway.
But no.
It or whomever better not come. Just an FYI.
I think my grandma's watching.
Well, she said you can be a pimp, so.
Yeah. Hey, so if you're watching this, just look right down and hit the subscribe button.
So,
Hit the like
What's-
button. Subscribe and the like button.
what would be the craziest thing you did to get on punishment? So we're talking about punishment. Yours is different than ours. You probably like left the refrigerator door half open or something. But Mondo, in real life, do you think that physical discipline, let's do that, physical discipline is necessary?
I think it's became, how many years it's just normal. Is it necessary? No. Because I think you can compel the same message that you're trying to get to your child through a conversation. But in parenting, then both parents have to be on the same page.
Yep.
Because say like, so with you, not physically believing in disciplining your child, then whoever that you would be with, especially if they have kids, that you guys would have to be on the same page and not doing it. I don't think that is necessary.
I don't think it's necessarily necessary, but I think some kids do need to have a spanking if people are going to spank them. Because some kids just are out of control. And it doesn't always help when people spank them, but some people do spank their kids and it helps.
I never got spanked. I got my beat.
Yep.
And I got, my mom used to say, I'm going to knock you out and only Jesus going to be able to wake you up. And then she would say stuff like that. Like, oh, I brung you in this world, I'll take you
But
out.
how much do you respect your mom for doing some of those things?
Well, back then, I go to my room like, skip, old lady, I don't like you anyway. What you say, huh?
I didn't say old lady. I
If you
said
can,
something.
you can hear.
I said
Yeah.
something I can't say on this program.
But I think,
And then what happened?
She
You
didn't
woke
hear
up?
me. Oh, no, she didn't hear me. Oh,
no, you don't say it to your mom
no.
face.
Oh no, I
you wait
didn't.
till-
I'm
you
just
wait
asking.
till your door in your
No,
room
that
is
didn't.
closed and you still
I
say
would
underneath your
never.
breath.
Yeah, I'm just wondering if you know.
But yet and still, would it made a difference if she would have talked to him about what he did and broke it down? Because a lot of times when a child gets a whooping, they're getting whipped out of the
Our
parents'
anger.
frustration and anger, and then that's when that A get beat.
Yeah.
Because your A getting beat because I'm mad. But if
Yeah.
I wasn't mad, it's like when you're in a relationship, right? And it's heated and y'all like kind of arguing or you mad at somebody. And you know how we kind of say, you got to wait to have a conversation because I'm upset and I don't want to do or say anything that I can't take back.
Right.
So I almost think it's like that with parenting when we decide to discipline our kid. Why don't we wait a minute, calm down, and then look at it, yeah, you messed up in school.
Right.
Yeah, you disrespected, somebody, you did something wrong.
I think the parent just be trying to keep it real.
Yeah.
That's what the parent be trying to do, keep
Yeah.
it real. Like I said I was going to get you, I'm going to get you, whatever. I just don't believe in physical discipline. And crazy, because my sisters watch too, and they'll tell you, I used to get a whooping every day, bro.
I
I
believe
found
it.
a reason to get a whooping. I was like,
I
you know,
believe
Detroit
it.
Lions find a reason to lose,
Yeah.
right?
Whoa.
So I find a reason to get a whooping. What?
Hey, edit that part out. We ain't gonna have all that negativity.
But they do. It's 2020. I thought they'd do something different.
They did. They didn't have fans this year. So
It's gonna make a difference. It won't go- at least you had to worry about leaving that stadium with your head down, feeling
now
sad.
you don't.
Yeah.
But no, I think that, after getting whoopings every day, Like literally.
He was-
I don't
he
think
was bad, hard.
I was,
Yeah.
bro.
Hard-headed.
But my sisters would tell you, like, if you said don't do it, I'm doing it. Like, prove
Why?
it. You prove it to me. Prove to me you're gonna knock me out and Jesus is gonna wake me up. I want to see him.
Did it happen?
I one day saw somebody and it was just the white man collecting the rent. I thought Jesus had came in, but it wasn't. Then later I found out,
Yeah.
Anyway, but getting beat didn't change me. Like
Yeah.
what changed me, I think, is like the relationship I had with my mom and have with my mom, the disappointment that she would feel. That hurt me more than a whooping because it didn't last that long. The whooping beat me, go outside, still gonna play, and probably gonna do it again.
Welts and all.
Man, just put on some pants. Don't wear shorts that day. But then, like, it would be worse if she just look at me and then tell me how disappointed she is and use that mother voice, like you just crushed their whole soul. That meant more to me. Like, dang, she ain't gonna love me no more. Like,
Yeah.
The whooping was like, okay, she mad, I'm mad, she frustrated. And when you're frustrated and you start hitting something, the more you hit it and the harder you hit it, the better you feel.
Yeah.
And that's what whoopings is for
The
parents.
more
And-
aggression
and-
you.
and
But
that's what
some
I'm saying.
parents do take it to an extreme. Like, I don't think people should beat their kids.
No, some kids need
Marie.
a beating.
Marie Nickerson,
She beat you?
a couple of times.
You end up in the hospital?
Now,
How many times did she tell you that?
We was at the whole funeral. We was at the whole funeral. I came up out the coffin. They was like, oh, look at that, Lazarus. I said, yeah.
My mom beat me with my little brother.
She said,
One time. She
beat you
couldn't find the
with
belt. Yeah. So we were doing something and she just grabbed him by the feet and started hitting me with him. But I respect her for it because
Yeah.
me and my brother close now.
I guess.
Like this, huh?
So did you get? So you didn't get spanked or popped at all, then? Huh?
Yeah.
She got timeout.
Yeah, I'm from the country and I have to go outside and pick
pick-
my own switch.
Now that's
Yeah.
trauma.
Trauma.
That's that.
It
that's
is
my,
like the
That's
whole way out
PTSD
there.
right there.
Man, my grandmother broke a paddle on me.
A paddle.
A paddle. You know, got whooped by wood paddle.
No, not
That my-
paddles. It was usually switches or belts.
Yeah.
Oh, y'all was lucky.
We got hit
My
with
dad,
switches.
whatever was in his reach.
Yep.
My dad could throw a house shoe around the corner like a boomerang.
But some stuff I knew better not to do it again. I probably still did some stuff, but then like I feel like I knew not. If my mom had just yelled at me or something like that, I would probably be like,
You see how pale skinned I am, so you know I bruise easy.
He couldn't go to school for a week.
So this was like in the summer. Oh boy, in the summer. Oh.
She got you good.
The,
Nobody had to see
the
you.
CPS people would be like,
I don't think they had CPS back then.
You
They
know what?
must
I was
didn't.
just about to say that. I didn't even know about CPS. Like when I found out about CPS, like I was too old to call him, right?
yeah, but then they'd still be like, oh, you want to call him? Because they going to treat you. They ain't going to treat
See-
you like
see,
I
Why
want
don't
to
you
treat
say,
you.
oh, it's
call
the
them and pack
police.
your stuff.
Yeah.
When they get here, you can go with them.
Yeah.
You want to be raised by them, just call them.
I'd been like, is they gonna beat on me too? Well, I'm going.
They might, because that's messed up too, because a lot of these kids end up in foster homes in different types of situations or being adopted, and then these adoptee parents or the foster parents end up beating these children, and it's not okay.
Yeah.
It's not okay to beat kids that are under the court supervision. You
No.
go to jail for that.
But I get what she's saying. Like a lot of kids come from dysfunctional homes, then get placed, which is supposed to be a loving, caring home, and then
More
it's even more
dysfunctional.
dysfunction.
Somebody just trying to get a check because they're
Yeah.
trying to take care of these kids and get some more money, and I think that's an awful way to do a child.
But it's crazy because a lot of times when you look at PTSD and we're talking about the foster care system, these kids are moved 4 or 5 times. And each one of those times they're trying to fit in.
And
then
adapt.
there's some type of trauma that happens at each one. Every time you remove a kid, I used to work for
No
CPS.
stability.
Yeah, I used to work for CPS, right? It's one of the hardest things for me was going to remove a kid from their parents' house, right? Because now you just had this traumatic thing happen. And the worst thing you want to do is be around your parents or whoever your guardian is. And I'm coming in and taking you from them in the middle of the night. And then I'm putting you at somebody else's house in the middle of the night. You wake up in the morning. You know nothing about them. They know nothing about you. Now you're trying to fit in. What if they're a bad parent? Boom, boom, boom. So you have all of this trauma that keeps happening. And then that first family that you're with, that family is probably only the night family that night. You're going to be moved again. This is just an emergency stop for you to get you out. So when you look at PTSD, a lot of these kids have that, not just the foster care kids. A lot of the kids in the community now, and some of that is stemming over in all this violence that we're having.
Yep, that's what I was going to say.
Yeah, I was just going to say they're growing up with no stability.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, and to piggyback, right? So with
Mr.
all the violence
Piggybacker.
that's going on now, think about how much trauma that causes. If you even never witnessed it, never been around, don't have to know anybody who got shot, died, murdered from gun violence, but you just know, oh, somebody was at the grocery store, somebody was on the bus stop to school. That's traumatic because you like, I do these things.
Right.
You know,
This is my neighborhood.
Yeah. I look like him.
Right.
You know, it's even like when 911 happened, how traumatic was that for us to see that,
Plane.
you know, that plane going through the building, all these people losing their lives that quick. That's trauma. Seeing a car accident.
It's trauma. It's just as much trauma as these people continue to put black people on television being beat, being abused, being killed, and everything else. And they continue to put that on there after 400 years of us being oppressed and systemically profiled.
What was 400 years ago? Where were we at 400 years ago?
I don't know if you was on the plantation. I wasn't on the plantation, but I'm just saying. Yeah. It just continues to be repetitive, and then we continue to see it over and over and over again, and that's making more black people traumatically
and desensitized.
Yeah.
And that was I was going to have a question. I always have this question. I've never asked anybody. Just been an ongoing thought, I guess. These images that we see, right, and we only usually see them of black people. Is it because with our culture, these are maybe the things we follow?
It's framing from the media.
So if we weren't black and we weren't, like, say we were white, will we see these images of white people, or do they like exist like how the ones with black people exist?
First, I'm sorry, Def, I got to jump in here.
Go ahead.
Real quick.
Jump in. I was just going to say that.
First of all, I know how to turn. I got like 32 sisters.
I bet you do.
Listen, first of all, it's framing. And it's setting the stage for an image of a group of people. Now, I'm going to go back to not the plantation.
Oh, man.
But I'm going to go back
like
to blackface.
Slavery?
Like blackface.
Oh, okay,
you know.
Blackface. Yeah.
When they used to say that, you know, black men were aggressive and all they wanted to do was sleep with white women and they were a danger to the white women and all of these things.
That's right around the KKK got started.
Yeah. So what they did is they painted an image. When they started doing this blackface and they had the black man was always chasing the white woman.
The movie,
always trying
Birth of a Nation.
Yeah. So always trying to get the white woman, always was aggressive and always spoke broken English, plantation language, whatever.
Yeah.
So now we move forward and they say that we're still violent and that we're still aggressive. And now they have to put that image out there. So if you're white, right?
Yeah.
And the only image that you always see is of these black people doing boom, 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 boom. And you really don't have a lot of contact with black people, not a lot of black people in your environment. So I'm already setting you up to think a way about a people that you have not even had an encounter with, right? So that makes you biased, right?
Yes.
So then once you have an encounter with them, you're already on the defense because of what you have a preconceived notion of what they're going to do. The other thing is that now I want you to understand as a black man, light skin, that this is what your people are doing.
Your people.
Yeah. Because I'm being the white media.
Oh, okay.
I want you to see what your people are doing because I want you to understand everything that we said about you guys is true. Look, it's happening. Boom. Let me find the craziest stuff to put in front of all of the kids and say, this is what you're going to be. The last thing is this, is that if we continue to only see the bad things that happen in the media and a lot of the likes, right? A lot of the subscriptions, subscribe to this channel, a lot of subscriptions are from us to see us do stupid things, right? Yeah. So if we stop buying into the image in which they put out there for us, maybe we can decrease the way that we think about one another, the way that the way that we think that all black people act this way or all black people act that way, when it's not. It's all a part of a system that they want you to be a part of because they can control you. If I want you to start thinking that a lot of black men are homosexual, right? Then I'm going to start putting that out. Now, not saying that homosexual, like that's their business.
Right, yeah.
But what I'm saying, when you purposely put one section of people
Yep. I said
in that area.
The last 5, I got a couple points off what you said. So the last 5 shows I think out: P-Valley, Lovecraft, the Watchmen. Even though the Watchmen was technically a black show, but the lead character was black.
Right.
And then 2 of the main characters was black. But
How to Get Away with Murder.
But then the lead black guy was gay. P-Valley, the lead guys are gay. What's this? Lovecraft, the second lead black dude.
Right.
And the Shy, all these. Now, like you said, have nothing against a person's preference. You gay, that's fine. Like I ain't gonna look at you no different. I'm gonna talk about you just like I talk about a straight person.
Equal opportunist a-hole.
Yeah. But even with the sex thing, it's like so in your face, and it's like even the heterosexual sex scenes don't have to be like
Right.
It's not porn. So it's like why y'all just? But you could tell it's a certain kind of push.
It is always
Black, but it's always the black guys.
Yeah.
And it's like, cool. Is it black gay dudes?
of course.
Yeah. But it's like,
But it seems like every show has to have a black gay
dude.
guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Instead of
Yeah.
where's the equality and I don't even know if it's the word, equality and gayness representation
Exactly.
in the television, or is it just to push and
Some type of narrative.
some type of narrative?
Yeah.
Well, in a sense, though, it's. I don't think it's bad, like you said. You know what I mean? And I think, hey, do whatever you want to do to, put yourself out there so that people understand and be more aware about the LGBT LMNOP community or whatever. No offense, but put it out there in the world. But I just don't feel like it's okay to make it like more than what it is and forget about other things that are happening in the world. You know what I mean? Because it feels like that community wants to overtake in certain instances. Like, okay, well, don't worry about Black Lives Matter, but worry about us over here. But worry about this, and their
I seen a sign
pool
that said
is
Black
bigger.
Gay Lives Matter. And it
Yeah,
was like,
they do. They do.
It
They
does.
absolutely do.
So, but if you're black,
You're already in.
you're already in.
You already
Yeah.
counted.
So you don't have to
Right.
Whether
say
you're gay,
Black Gay Life because you 'cause
heterosexual,
you're black.
But I think
Doesn't matter.
sometimes it pulls away from other things that are important. You know what I mean? And I think that everything that's wrong should be at the top of the hierarchy, not just like, okay, just gay lives, not just black lives, not just like
it's
kids in cages in Mexico,
Right, yeah.
or on the border of Mexico. You know what I mean?
And I was gonna say my other point. So y'all stay with me when we were saying how the picture is painted. So if you don't see, blacks in everyday life doing everyday things, and you just see these negative images, rather it be from what the media is highlighting, this one gang fight or whatever, and it's like, oh, black gang, they highlighted it, or it's a movie that have that projects negative stereotypes of black people. So when African people come over here,
that's the
right,
That's the
they
image
come
that
through
they
these
get.
programs, and trust me, because I know a bunch of them, and they like, no, we was told to stay away from
Yeah.
the black people. And that's why a lot of them, they're African. So we look at them like, oh, you black. And they're like, no, I'm not black. Because they look at when you say the word black,
Right.
you mean black American.
Right.
We look at it, everybody who got African blood, everybody who darker than me,
Right.
is considered black. But then they're told, because then they're showed these images.
Of us.
Like, I had this guy, he worked with us. And he would say, yeah, because all black people do is, sit up and smoke crack and blah, 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 and do this.
Like, buddy, we're at work together. I'm not smoking crack.
And I'm like, dude, how many times have you hung out with us? He was like, all the time. I said, so all these negative
smoking crack.
stereotypes,
Is that what y'all was
which
doing?
one have we done? And nothing against people who want to smoke crack. That's fine. You may be a functioning crackhead. I don't know. I'm not here to
There
judge.
is something wrong with people who smoke crack.
you know
Maya.
But there are functioning crackheads.
They might take care of their family. And do what they gotta do. I don't know. I'm not here to judge. I'm talking about you regardless. But all these negative stereotypes is placed on black people. They're taught. But it's like, you know what? I said, at the end of the day, they're gonna look at you the same way.
They're going to lump you in anyway.
Yeah, I feel like it's so many ambiguatory ideologies that are put out here into the world to make black people look different. And I don't know if it's because of everything that's gone on, but I just don't feel like it's okay.
But do we help with those?
No.
See,
And I was gonna
do we help push the narrative? Do we help push the narrative? Like, if you share a fight, video, right? If you go live because two people are fighting, right, or whatever, then are you helping? And you know, I don't do it anymore, but I used to share fight videos.
Yeah.
I never share fight videos.
I did.
Never share, and I try to stay away because sometimes they're funny. But in this, to your point, yeah, you know, think about this. Why is it whenever something like kind of, I think we deal with this with code switching, when it's like a positive attribute, it's positive attribute, it's like, oh, you acting white. But then when it's a negative attribute of behavior, it's you being black. Well, go ahead, wrap the show up.
No, fix your mic.
Okay,
you know, I did everything but say, Mondo, your mic is.
Oh, well, you should have just said it. This ain't the Donahue Oprah Winfrey show.
You gonna put it that close to your mouth?
Which
I
one
don't
of
know
y'all
how it's
Donahue?
signed. Okay, no. So like say like look, like when a Caucasian girl is quote unquote being ratchet and loud, like how we were saying, being loud and ignorant, they be like, oh, she acting black. And it's like, why do we have to accept
Own that.
Own that. But if a black girl is being proper, you know, speaking
correct grammar,
clearly right, then it's she acting white.
But they can keep Candace Owens.
Can't stand your tail. So like with Bill Clinton, oh, he was the first black president because he was smoking weed, which at the time was illegal.
Right.
And getting
and he was cheating on his wife.
getting fellatio.
Yep. So is it saying that all black men cheat on their wife?
No, but
Right?
I think all black men get fellatio.
I don't think
You're not
all
a
of
black
them-
man.
I mean, I'm just saying I don't think they do because I have dated black men, and I don't think I would.
I can see where you're going with that, and I
Okay.
can't say what I want to say because it's a family show.
Pew pew.
He's so petty.
No, I think that they do. Like
but you feel me,
anything
though?
negative, they'll say, "Oh, you're acting black," or "He was raised with black people," or "He must like black people because he act this way." Yeah, they do, of course. But the same way that we said that we always have to fit into other people's environments, but when we bring them to our environment, we never ask them to like fit in.
Yeah.
Just be yourself, and we're gonna
Yeah.
welcome you in, and we're gonna talk about you just like we talk about anybody else.
Yeah.
But at the same time, you're not gonna feel like an outsider.
Yeah, it just sucks because as a black person, you feel like you have to work so much harder to make sure that you fit in the room or you fit into different types of circumstances or different types of situations or you get a job or you get a degree. You know what I mean? Like, it's just like, why?
It's like
Do we-
saying black people got to work harder.
Yeah,
for what-
to get what you need to succeed because we talked about that,
Right,
before.
success.
But success, yeah. But,
You just gotta whoop the kids.
I mean, some of them you might need to
Okay,
whoop.
you
If
brought
some
that,
of them
like how a comedian do, how they bring something back.
circled it
Sometimes
back.
You just got to beat the kids.
You gotta whoop the. I think that sometimes, you know, and I'm not into whoopings, right? But I think our parents think that they're doing us
A favor.
A favor.
If you had a boy, though, do you think you whoop him?
What you just said, if you had a boy, would you whip him?
I'm just saying, would you? Because I just feel
No,
like
I-
as a girl, my dad didn't spank me.
Well,
I just think that as a father, that's not my parenting style. So I don't think whether it was a boy or a girl, that's not my parenting. Now, if he ever tried
Do
me,
you think?
I'd knock
with
him
my,
out like
with my
Jesus.
older kids, right? One day my son was getting it, and my daughter was like, "And Daddy, don't forget." And I said, "You want some of this too?" And she was like, "No."
No.
But I only can remember hitting my oldest daughter once, and both of them got it. And then after I did, I said, "It's my fault."
Yeah.
I fell asleep because it was nap time, and they figured, "Oh, he's sleeping. We're not ready to take a nap."
We can do what we want.
So
It
they-
was your nap time, not
Yep,
theirs.
So they
though.
took, cause they daddy be tired.
That's why you can't wear that shirt.
That's exactly why you can't.
I'm gonna get one to say "Daddy be tired," and then have "Stop! I don't touch that junior" picture on the back. Yeah. So and that was the thing too. So maybe some of the times we discipline our kids is because we seen the mistake that we made or our failure. Because maybe you wouldn't have did that if I would have taught you better or showed you better.
So
Yeah.
you whoop them because you messed up.
Yeah.
So you whooping yourself, but you whooping them. Mm-hmm. Like for me, I think even with my daughter, like all I do is raise my voice, right? I raise my voice, or we'll sit there and have a conversation.
Yeah.
And I let her know what or I give her the look. I give her, my mom named Kathy Ann, so I give her the Kathy Ann look like. And you don't know what you did when you get that look, but you just fix everything.
And my oldest daughter, I give her that, I'll be like, where the camera, I don't know what camera I'm on, I'll be like, she'd be like, what? I ain't even do nothing.
Just seeing if it worked.
You knew that you did something because you know. She'd be like, I'd be like,
well, I just feel like
it was my brother.
Dads are more sympathetic to girls.
And that's what I was going to say. I do think, and I had to learn, if you're going to be my princess, you got to be my prince. So I can't, now granted, if you got more than one kid, I don't care who agree with me, you love your kids with the same amount of energy, but you like love you love your kids different. You don't love them. You don't love
more
them
or less.
the same.
Different.
But it's not more or less. More or less, but it's different.
Right.
So I had to learn if you're going to be my princess, then you have to be my prince. And I think a lot of times with dads, you the princess, boy, and then with moms and is my little prince. Heifer. Yeah. Right. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And I think that's how it is sometimes. But it's not that.
Why do you think, I don't mean cut, but why do you think it's like you would think that dads would be, because it's a boy, we're just using male, female, be like, oh, this is my guy. And then you have that, or the woman be like, oh, this is my daughter. But usually it's the dad that's on, like with the girl and the mom babying the boy. And that's why a lot of this violence happens. A lot of them kids out there been babied by their mothers and not told the truth. And they lazy, unattentive, absent fathers are the issue. Yeah. Because they're not, I'm sorry I had to go on the tangent, but that's one of the issues is that people are not playing their roles. And as a community, people are not playing their roles.
Too busy making crab boils.
And people are scared to go outside of their four walls. Mm-hmm. Like, you got some pastors who, they don't care. They're getting in the mix. Like, they'll meet you at the bar, and they ain't drinking or smoking. They're in there passing out Jesus pamphlets.
But they meet you where you're at.
They meet you where you're at. And so then you have the pastors who drive past all of the riffraff, get out of their car, go into the church and say, we got to do something about the community. Right. The community needs us. Well, you just left past the community, and not once did you stop and talk to them. Right. And not saying that everybody in the church is saved, but those people, you already have their attention in some form and fashion. The ones who out there may not know that they need your help. Yep. Right? And not just churches. I'm like community leaders or people who are supposed to be speaking for us, or people who are supposed to be leaderships in a community. I think that that's one of the reasons that these children out here doing it. And sometimes you just got to beat the kids.
You said you got to beat the kids. But what it is, some kids have to grow up too fast. They don't get a chance to beat a kid.
Right.
Yep. So they need to beat your kids and then let your kids be a kid.
Right. Yeah. I think it's cool though how so many leaders in the community have been trying to come out. Like Friday they had that thing at the park or whatever.
First of all,
I missed it.
That was amazing. All right. I was there. Didn't see you there, Mondo. But I was there.
You know, Friday I got
also why you don't have a shirt.
Yeah.
You know, Fridays is when I have to go pick up, don't touch that Junior. That's when that was going on.
But it was. Now that
was awesome. But I don't think that you have to always, like, I feel like some people in our community are reliant on these community leaders and these pastors to make a change and do something different in the community instead of them stepping up from their homestead and making a difference before some of these children get out of hand. And
it was...
I think it's awesome, though.
It was it Moody who said this? I was on that Real Dads call last week. The real 4 Real Dads. They do the Zoom meeting on Wednesdays, 6 o'clock.
Yeah, I used to go to it when it was live.
So I was doing that, and one of the speakers, I forgot who it said. He said something like, "The issue sometimes is that you feel like it's your duty to save this person, when in essence you could just be the bridge to fill the gap for them to meet the right person. Because I might not want to talk to a pastor, because the pastor gonna talk to me, he gonna preach at me, or he gonna church me to death. Yeah. Now I may get Mondo, who's not gonna, he has God in him, but he's not finna church me or preach me to death. He's gonna talk to me as a person. I'll be more understanding, and then maybe we can then get into the church stuff or
If
whatever.
you want to talk about that
let's-
word, we can get into the word.
Right. But first, meet me where I'm at and let's have that conversation. That's why I believe what you said. It's sometimes the pastors are just the bridge.
Yeah.
They come up with the idea and say, this is what we need to do. Now do
They
it.
just have a vision.
That's it.
And that's what I was going to say. So in the Bible, it talks about the orphan and the widow. So the orphan is the fatherless child. The widow is the woman who was left out here with the children. And the Bible speaks about how the men are supposed to take care of the widows and the orphans. And not to say that I do a good job of it, but I think that's when you're saying that's when we have to step up. That's when the men in the community have to step up and say, hey, let's do something. What the community has been doing and trying to do, kudos. I think in this time now that we're going, depending on when you watch this show, it's election time is coming up. We need to learn how to pull, when I say we black people, we need to learn how to pull our resources together so we can put people in positions, voting them in, putting them in positions to take care of help us take care of our communities, right? Yes, I think the average everyday person who live in the community, do stuff. But, back in our day, so-and-so could talk to you, right? And you would listen, take heed. Rather you did what he said or not.
You still gave him that time and respect.
And respect.
And you didn't shoot him.
Right. Nowadays, shorty's looking like who is you?
Right.
Yeah. I get that some of them are saying that they have to do whatever they have to do, and
Do
people
what they got to do, huh?
yeah,
Use it again.
That's why I love you.
doing what you got to do to get where you got to get. But I understand that some of these children are so young and they're put into situations where they have to try to protect their siblings or protect their home, make sure they have water, make sure they have lights or, different things like that. And I just don't think it's fair that these parents aren't paying attention to detail.
First of all, they're not parents, but go ahead.
Well,
No,
what would we call
They're
them?
friends.
No,
That's the
They
issue. They're
do?
friends.
They pay attention. They know what's going on.
No, they're not. They're on
But
Facebook trying
they
to get-
keeping it real. No, because they
keeping
too
it
busy
real.
keeping it
Keeping it real.
real.
Oh,
and this
yeah.
what you got to do, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Because I taught my son how, not me, but me keeping it real, I taught my son how to act off emotion, right? So and then he can't fight.
Right.
So he first thing now he mad because somebody said something to him. You can just blow it off. Ain't nobody
Right.
touch you nothing. Man, they was talking about me. They said something about me. Man, I'm gonna shoot them. Because you're emotional,
Yeah.
right? It's nothing wrong with having emotions, but most men know how to control their emotions, right?
Right.
And then that's
don't
that's
act
what
off
it is.
emotions.
And
You
then
react to emotions.
Because you look at it, I've seen the fight videos. Look at some of them fight videos, right? It be the mama out there
Yeah.
fighting.
Yep.
With her bonnet.
With her crab leg in her hand.
After she just got done doing the period challenge.
See?
Or asking for an orange card on sale on Facebook.
See, but
Or trying to get some attention.
what that is, I think the kids,
I love y'all.
I
Or
remember,
selling purses from
I remember
Wish, but
being
that ain't my
young,
business.
and my mom and her friends, even though my mom was older, but it wasn't that much older, right? But it never seemed like we were on the same level. Like it never
I
crossed
never
my
felt
mind
like I was on the
to
same
feel
level.
like I was on the same level, or hers to say that she's on the same level. Now they're rolling blunts together, they smoking and drinking together, they in the same clubs together, they all down at Joe's together.
They doing the period
right
challenge together.
right? So these parents,
And y'all serious too. That's the killing part about
Yeah.
it.
What you mean, huh? You
So,
don't know that?
he knows.
You ain't seen that?
I
So you gonna
always-
act
I
just like he
always-
don't know who
I
in his
always
dang
said-
on friend zone.
Exactly.
I always said, like with my nieces, the ones in their 20s, whatever. If I'm ever in a club or wherever and they are there, and they didn't come with me, then I don't need to be there.
Right.
Even if it's grown up night, if they let you in here, that means I don't need to be here. Yeah, I'm leaving. Yeah, depending on where we at, you finna leave too.
Are your nieces a lot younger than you? Like my uncle is close. Like we're close in age.
No, like that's why I said my
Yeah.
nieces is like in their early 20s. I'm saying I don't need to be in the same
Mm-hmm.
club, bar, whatever
Right.
that you hanging out
Yeah.
at.
Right.
Clearly something wrong. I love y'all. Y'all my people. We at the house.
Yeah. But out in the club, yeah,
no, we
because
ain't
you don't
hanging
need
out.
them to know
'Cause
who
I'm-
in your
'cause-
friend zone.
Cause I'm
No one. But we gotta wrap it up, right?
Let Daph get her
But
final thought.
I'm about to.
No, I don't know. I don't.
I'm about
yeah,
to.
I was just talking about your friend zone.
So, final words. I know we talked about a couple topics, which I think
I liked
just
it. It was fun.
Just having a variety.
Okay. Dialogue,
You can
yeah.
see you can see the things that we're passionate about. Yeah.
right? Because I think I went on one. It's like,
I was about to give you an offering, but I ain't have my stripper ones today. But go ahead.
Oh,
I'm sorry.
you're not paying for scholarships?
So-
but if anybody is paying for scholarships,
she just got to plug her HPC. But we do the other thing is that
I'm
we're
trying
gonna
to get a
have.
scholarship.
I think we're gonna have a friend zone party. All right.
Okay.
Be on the lookout for the flyers. The friend zone party.
Yeah, y'all go ahead and get in them comments.
It's going to be sponsored by Mondo. He's the mayor of the friend zone. This has been another edition of In My Humble Opinion,
Probably gonna be the last one.
sponsored by Friend Zone.
No. So we're sponsored by Every Kid Deserves a Dope Father. Hey, look them up.
like,
Look 'em
comment, subscribe to our
Like,
channel.
comment, subscribe.
We love y'all. All the support that you guys been giving us has been amazing. Keep those comments coming. Keep those shares. Keep those likes. Keep your opinions humble.
Peace.
Stay out the friend zone. Peace.
Are we done, Matt? It's just he just rolling right now, so it's just not even.
It's not.
Yeah.
I hope you got that back.
Was it a gnat?
No. It might hit him in the face. You don't know how to smack that? I ain't gonna say it.
Smack that all on the floor.